Welcome back. Political panel time. Republican strategist and former chief of staff to Mike Pence. Remember, he was vice president. Marc Short. Former Georgia Democratic Congresswoman Carolyn Bourdeaux. She now leads the Fiscal Responsibility Group I know well, the Concord Coalition. Great to have you here.
Good to be here.
Thank you very much. We have an iron rule here, so if I go to it before break, we pick it up at the beginning. So the New York Times obit section is sort of hallowed ground in American journalism. If there's an obit there, it means you are an important figure in American life. And a vacuum cleaner is now a part of that hallowed journalistic ground. Beth, the vacuum cleaner belonging to Chuck Grassley, Iowa Republican senator. Well, it no longer works. So it's been replaced. It's now dead. I'm not going to get an obit in the New York Times when I pass, but Beth did. Marc, any thoughts on the vacuum cleaner and the obit of it all?
I'm sorry I don't have too many thoughts on the vacuum cleaner major, but look, I do think that one of the things that has made Chuck Grassley endearing is he's a guy who began running and jogging at 75, doing...
and for many years of his Senate career, was an active farmer in Iowa.
And still is. And, like, you look at his social media posts, he pulls back corn stalks and shows you what the progress is. And so, he's pretty colloquial, but he's somebody that clearly has identified well with the voters of Iowa for a long time.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to spare you any comment on the...
I was going to say,
okay, go ahead.
It's hard to find a good vacuum cleaner, so I appreciate,
Or a man who's willing to use it.
Exactly.
That's an editorial comment of my own, ladies and gentlemen.
Very helpful.
I want to talk to you about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she said over the weekend that she's going to freeze her eggs, and the internet had all sorts of reactions to it. Isn't this private business? Why are we even dissecting this?
That is a fine question to ask. For me, it's a little bit of a TMI, but fine. I think what was more interesting, actually, all my friends called me about that interview because of the whole woke, that she said she was not into Woke One. Right? Woke One was crazy, exactly. And I was there during Woke One, so I'm glad that we're having this pivot.
Yeah, well, and let's pick up on that, because that may be more meaningful not only in the current context, but the first person who never said it then saying it now. Oh. Did they not believe it then, or are they coming to a recognition now because it is politically more advantageous? To try to distance yourself from all of that rhetoric and attitudes about Woke One. Yeah,
well, I think it has certainly spiraled, right? And you're seeing some of these candidates in New York that even my Democratic friends have a lot of trouble with. And so, at any rate, I'm better late than never, right?
You regarded it as crazy at the time, did you not?
I wouldn't say crazy. I understood where people's hearts were in those moments. I was running for office at the time, and it was very, very rough. The George Floyd marches and all those things had happened, and people were really shaken by that event. And I was at many, many rallies. People sitting there just weeping openly around that. And so I understand that there was some, reaction to
legitimate concern, but it sort of manifested itself in lots of ways. From a policy perspective that went off.
It kind of went off the rails from a policy perspective.
Marc, your thoughts on both? AOC
I don't know why we're talking about this in the past tense. I mean, there are multiple Democrat candidates right now wanting to defund the police. Multiple candidates wanting to defund ICE. There's a Senate candidate in Michigan who has said that Israel is the equivalent to Hamas. You've got a Senate candidate in Michigan who has had a surrogate who has said that America deserved 9/11. I mean, to suggest that this is a past tense and it was woke and somehow the Democrat Party is not today, it is perhaps even more woke than it was a couple of years ago.
Any quick thoughts on AOC and freezing of her eggs and why we're talking about it, why the internet exploded over the weekend?
You're the one devoting your time to it. To me,
because it was a topic of conversation all over social media over the weekend. So we're trying to make sense of what the internet was fascinated by.
Well, she's amazing at generating content. She's amazing at getting people to have interest in her personal story. I don't have experience freezing eggs. I was blessed with a spouse who we parented 3 children together, and I'm thankful for that.
Carolyn, you want to jump in on something that Marc said?
Well, I think we have a general common problem in both parties, where we have people on both sides going off the rails, and you see similar things. I come from Georgia. We had Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has... we had the space lasers. We had a lot of extravagant talk. She's actually now a moderate, basically, in Georgia. So very pleased to see that.
Anymore.
And
there are plenty of Democrats who are candidates this cycle.
And many Republicans who are also candidates who are going off the rails.
Are you bullish on Mike Rogers' chance in Michigan now with El Sayed as the nominee? You've got 15 seconds.
I think there's a lot of Democrats coming to support El Sayed. I think it's still a challenge. Mike Rogers was unable to win with Trump on the top of the ticket. How's he going to win with Trump not on the ticket and getting some of those Trump voters out of Michigan?
Marc Short, you get the last word. Carolyn Bourdeaux, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.